Hello and welcome to another episode of Malone Bailey's official podcast, Everybody Counts. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Carolina from the recruiting department at Malone Bailey. Hopefully this isn't your first time tuning in, but if it is, welcome. Our podcast, Everybody Counts, features various perspectives on a variety of topics, from the latest SEC and FASB updates to discussions on recruiting, retention, and more. Everybody Counts explores trends and hot topics that affect us and those in our business. Tune in to hear from partners and staff alike. The conversation is versatile and everybody's input counts. I'm your host, and today we're diving into tips and tricks for preparing for your first audit role in public accounting. Joining me today is Arturo Reina, who will share some great insight from his experience and tips for those preparing for their first audit role in public accounting. Welcome, Arturo.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right, Arturo, so let's dive right in. Let's start with nerves, something that everyone can relate to and has. What was your biggest fear before starting your first audit role in public accounting?
As this was my first year working in the auditing and accounting firm, I was mostly fearful of being required to know and recall everything I learned during my years in school.
That's such a common fear. Absolutely. How did you prep in those final weeks before starting?
To get over those fears, I kind of brushed up on my material from advanced accounting classes, which I believe was going to be most helpful. I also gave myself some time to rest and relax, so I would begin my first day alert and well rested. I ensured that I had all my supplies that I needed to make sure I took some great notes during my orientation training.
That's great. So mental preparation, but also supplies.
Yes.
So let's talk now. Let's move over to skills. Let's talk skills. This is a common question I get from applicants. What technical skills should incoming hires focus on before starting? Or do you have any suggestions of what they could focus on before starting?
I would suggest that they develop a good mastery of Excel and formulas that would help them develop some efficiency when completing their assignments. Excel can really be your best friend. I would also encourage them to focus on their understanding of GAAP and the audit process. This will help them be well prepared to assimilate into the firm.
Now, looking back, were there any skills or tools that you wish you had learned before your start?
Yes, I wish I would have learned and mastered when to ask questions and ask for help. When you first start, you tend to want to attempt to resolve and find solutions for the issues on your own. But the rule of thumb is you want to make sure you use the resources available to you. No one expects you to have all the answers. So take notes, use the resources available to you, which are a lot. You can ask your office mates, you can ask your buddy, mentors for tips and tricks and guidance. If you are unable to find the solution, then you can reach out for help and guidance, and you don't have to suffer in silence.
Great. Can you share, or are there any funny or unexpected moments from your first year in audit that you could share with us?
Unfortunately, I don't think I have any, since I mostly worked from home the first year due to COVID. It really was no any wild office stories since we mostly worked remote for the first 2 years of my career here at Malone Bailey. So there's not really anything I can share for that.
Fair enough. Everyone's kind of trying to master the virtual world.
Yes.
What about common mistakes someone starting out may make, and how can they avoid making those mistakes?
It's not doing a lot of self-review and when they're turning in their work. I would suggest them using spell check before they turn in their work. I would also recommend that they reread some of the documentation to ensure they have proper grammar. Another tip I would give them is to understand the procedures that they're being asked to perform, not just what they're doing, but understand the why behind the procedure. That would help them build a good foundation for their career here in public accounting.
So be curious, find out what the bigger picture is.
Correct.
To really help you understand the work that you're doing.
Yes.
Great. How about the importance of soft skills like communication and time management?
Those are very important too. Good communication skills and time management skills are essential to being an effective in public accounting professional. They are just as important as the technical skills.
Now let's jump a little ahead to one's first spring. A question that I know all new hires have is how new staff can prepare for their first busy season. Do you have any tips that you've learned along the way that you could share with our listeners today?
Yes, I would suggest practicing good time management skills. This will help them ensure a successful business season. I would also recommend them to have a hobby during busy season. This will allow them to have a good work-life balance and will help them reduce the stresses of working all those long hours.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I definitely need something to be able to disconnect and shut the brain off a little bit, get a little bit away from the screen to refresh for the next day.
Yes.
Great. Awesome. What surprised you the most about your first year?
The amount of knowledge that you would gain after your first busy season. When you are in the thick of it, you don't really realize how much you are learning. But once the busy season passes, you come to realize how much you have learned, how much you have grown, and what you have done.
So, what's one piece of advice that you could give to someone starting next week?
Come in with an eagerness to learn, and be prepared to ask questions as you learn your new skills and tasks. This will essentially help you to be able to learn more and be curious to see what you don't know about.
That's great advice, Arturo. Now, a topic that is always on our minds here at Malone Bailey, food. What's your go-to busy season survival snack?
Something that I always found in my drawers during busy season and something I always snacked on was white cheddar popcorn during busy season.
It's a good one. Yeah. Thanks, Arturo. That concludes my questions for now. Thanks so much for the helpful information today. I'm very appreciative of you taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with me about this topic today. Now, before we head out, we're going to switch gears and play a little game we like to play on the podcast called This or That. Arturo, I'm going to ask you a few questions and you'll choose which you prefer. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on the vacation. Threw me there with the sweet. I thought you were going to say salty after the popcorn. It's been lots of fun chatting with you about this topic today, Arturo. Thanks again. And to everyone listening, we appreciate you listening in and invite you to check out our website, www.malonebailey.com, for more information about public company audit services, as well as some other useful resources. Thanks again for listening.